Welcome, football fans. Buckle up for another hard-hitting episode of Player 54 Podcast, an independent show focused solely on alternative and opportunity football. From a sunny Southwest Florida studio, here is your host, Michael Lathrop.
Hello, football fans. This is episode 143, Brave Duck Leads Return to the Field. Welcome back to another episode of Player 54 Podcast. Today, we welcome Fort Worth Braves head coach Ruben Contreras to discuss his team, the Continental Football League, and more. Welcome, Coach Duck. I appreciate you taking the time to appear on the show to discuss your role as head coach of the Fort Worth Braves, the Continental Football League, and possibly more.
Thank you very much, Mike, to having me with you. I'm sorry for the delay time. I'm sorry, but I'm here. Happy to be here with you.
Well, it's all right. Life happens, Coach. We're all human, and we can't control everything. But let's get right to it. Before we dive into, your position with the Braves, I think it'd be beneficial if you could provide to those tuning in a little bit of, your background, kind of a brief Cliff Notes version, about yourself, how you got introduced to the game of football and your experiences within it. So can you take a moment to do so?
Absolutely. Well, I played football since I was 6 years old. I'm from Mexico City. I was born in Mexico. I played there. I played since I was 6 until I was around about 32. So I played pee-wee football, then youth football. Then I played 3 years of college football in Mexico City. I played for one school, Monterrey Tech. It's a nice team. So then I moved to Germany, to Munich, Germany, and I played in Germany about 2 years in Germany. Then I moved out to Spain. I played. It was like kind of professional stuff. So I played 2 years in Spain. Then I went to Austria, to the Austrian league. Is one of the top league in the top league in Europe, and I played there 4 years. So in total, I played 6-7 years in the European league, and then I just decided to quit and focus on my business. I was living there already. So this is my contact as a player. As a coach, I started to go to the Division I schools back then in 2004 when I went to University of Oregon, where I met incredible coaches like the head coach Mike Velotti, a good friend of mine, and one of my best friends right now is Steve Redgood. He was the offensive line coach. He was like the assistant head coach and offensive line coach. Now he's like one of my best friends. He was kind of mentor, friend, and he introduced me to one of the most important persons, influencing, who are like an influence of me as a coach. It was Jimmy Ratcliffe. He was the head strength and conditioning coach for the whole University of Oregon, and he was working with the football team as well. So he took me in. He took me as an intern, and I went there for 5 different years as an intern. I went there when Coach Velotti was there. Then I went back when Coach Kelly was there. Then my last head coach was with Mark Helfrich when they played the national championship against Ohio State in 2015. Then, because of Steve Graygood and Coach Ratcliffe, I had the opportunity to go in 2018 to go to Cal Berkeley with the Golden Bears. and I spent there like one season as a strength and conditioning coach. Then I met there a coach, Torrey Beckton. Torrey Beckton, he was the director of football performance at Cal Berkeley. Then 2021, when he moved out to Texas, I called him. I said, like, Coach, I would like to come. And he said, yeah, let's go. So I went there. My first year as a coach at Texas was 2021. Then I went to San Diego State with Coach Brady Hoke at 2022. Then I went back to Texas 23 and 24. I spent 23 and 24 like already like full year, like full time. And then in 24, like 23, 20, it was 24, it was 23. I'm sorry. It was 23 when I went for a couple of like for the summer camp, a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks to Colorado with Coach Sanders. And then I spent a couple of weeks at Alabama with Coach. The head coach was still Nick Saban, and the strength and conditioning coach was David Ballou. But one of the two main characters in my coaching life, it was Jimmy Radcliffe and Torrey Beckton. They are my mentors, and of course, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of good coaches. Justin Wilcoch, Brady Hoke, Mark Helfrich, Chip Kelly, Mike Velotti, of course, like Coach Steve Sarkisian. He was one of the biggest influence for me. So this is like, and of course, like all the time I spent 17 years in Europe, living in Europe, I had like another business, and I coached there for the Prague Lions, the Prague Panthers. I coached there in Spain, in the Vienna Knights. So I coached everywhere. I was the head coach of the Mikkeli Bouncers in Finland, St. Gallen Bears as a head coach. So I mean, I've been everywhere: Europe, USA, Mexico, Switzerland, Finland, Austria, Germany, Spain. I've been around for a while, you know, and I'm so thankful that I have so many opportunities.
Yeah, you're no spring chicken. I'll be honest, Coach. I wasn't that knowledgeable. I'd heard your name before. I had seen images in this, but it's not like I was super knowledgeable about you. So to dive into it, I'm like, he does have an interesting past. But there is something before we kind of dive into the whole Continental Football League. Coach Duck, I must ask,
Yeah.
How did you become Coach Duck?
Okay, this is a story that do we have time?
Oh, there's plenty of time. It just depends on how long you want to go.
No. It's gonna be quick. But the thing is that everybody asks me like why I call myself why everybody is calling me Coach Duck. And I'm gonna tell you the real story about this thing. When I was like 23 something, it was like 23. I was in college. I was playing, but I was like let's say I was not the most disciplined guy on the field, on the school. I had a good talent. I was a good player, but I was a terrible student. I was terrible. I missed classes. I didn't go for tutorials. I didn't go for like extra work. I didn't do much on school. Okay. Then I was kind of lost because I got hurt. I got I had my first surgery of my knee, my right knee. And of course, like at the end, I lost my scholarship because of the school. Back then in Mexico, it was like you were like a student athlete, you go like a student full, and then you go like an athlete. Like you have to go to school and do your notes and everything. You have to go to class. And it was nothing special that you've been a player. Like right now it's a little bit different. But before it was just like student, then a little bit of a player, athlete. So, but I didn't do much in the school. Okay. Then I was kind of lost, like in my life. Then back then I had like this girlfriend. She was like my friend, girlfriend. I don't know, like she was from Oregon, and she was a student at Oregon at the University of Oregon. So one day she asked me, like, we met in Mexico. So one day she asked me, like, hey, why you don't come here? You visit me in Eugene. You go, you see the college. You see like how is my college? How is everything around? And it was a coincidence that back then I was already like long time before I was a Oregon Duck fan because my father, when I was a kid, he had like a hoodie with like the image of the Oregon Duck. If you remember well, the Oregon Duck was like Donald Duck. If
Yeah,
you remember well, they were
yeah.
using the Disney Donald Duck logo. Like back then, like I'm talking about like long time ago. So of course my father had like this hoodie, and I was like in love with that hoodie. So like since I was a kid, I started to like the Oregon Ducks, not because of the football. It was just like because of the image, the logo. I don't know, like I just like the Donald Duck. So and I was like absolutely. I say absolutely yes, yes. So next week I went to Oregon. I went to Eugene, and I remember pretty well that before I left Mexico, I wrote like a couple of emails to University of Portland State, Oregon State, Oregon, a couple of like college, like I tried to reach out like a lot of programs, even like I go to some high schools in Oregon. And everybody told me, no, we don't have time because it was like August. It was already like fall camp. So everybody like is so busy back then, like everybody's so busy. They're focusing on the first game. And so the thing is, I went to Oregon. Everybody told me, no, coach, we don't have time for that. So I went to Oregon, the University of Oregon, and I went to the football facilities. And I was just like on the front desk, I was like, excuse me, can I talk to like any coach? And it was like just like it was Mike Bellotti. He was just walking by. He was passing by. And he asked me like, can we help you? And I say, yeah, my name is Ruben, and I'm a football player, but I want to become a coach, and I like to see the practices and everything. And he was absolutely nice. That guy, he changed my life forever. So he say, yeah, welcome to the Oregon Ducks football program. And he said, like, I'm gonna bring you to one of the offices, and one of the coaches' offices, and it was Steve Regal. And he said to Steve, like, hey, Steve, this is Ruben. He's from Mexico. He's going to be with us. Like, whatever he needs, just like, let me know.
Wow.
So Steve Regal, he was like, okay, Ruben, what you want? What you need? And I said, like, I just want to learn, like, more about how to become, like, a football coach. And he said, okay, just, like, be around. You can stay here, the practice. If you need tomorrow, you can stay here like the whole week. So back then I stayed there a whole month, the 1 month. And I was like in every single practice. So after like 1 week, Coach Greg, he asked me like, do you don't want to go to attach to any position or something? Like, what kind of position would you like to be like more around? And I said, I would like to go to learn more about the strength and conditioning. And he says, so here's the best. And Jimmy Radcliffe was like already like a legend. He's one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the entire planet. So and Jimmy Ratcliffe, he was absolutely nice to me, but he was kind of tough on me. Like, okay, you want to learn, but you're gonna need to do this. So I went there, and I was learning from there, and I went back next year, and then again next year, and then I went back to Europe, and then I went back in 2006, 2008, and then 2010, and then 2014 and 15. So I was there. And this is how, like, so the thing is that about the story, how they call me Coach Dog, because this is the truth. When I went back to Mexico, I went back to college. And I said to myself, I want to be good at something. And the thing is, the things that I saw at Oregon, everybody doing their jobs, everybody was like so focused on, everybody was like doing their jobs, like seriously. They were not just like playing around. They were just doing their jobs, like every single person, like water guys, interns, coaches, coordinators, head coach, everybody, security guys, like everyone. Everybody was like so serious about football that I say I want to become good at something. And because of that, I want to be like at Oregon. Like I want to learn like that. I want to do my job like that. So I came back and I was like serious about all the stuff that I was doing. And everybody started to call me, oh yeah, this is the dog. Oh yeah, the dog. Because of course I was wearing my gear like everywhere. Oregon Dogs, and I had like thousands of things, hoodies, t-shirts, pants, shorts, whatever, caps, whatever. And everybody was calling me just the dog. And like at some point, like sometime, everybody was calling me like Coach Dog. And that lesson that I have learned at Oregon, I took like into my private life, into my business life. So after I graduated from college, I moved out to Europe. And this is a story that, of course, like is a part of football, of my football life. But when I went to Europe, I founded a business, a company. So I was the very first person in the whole Europe, in the whole continent, who started to produce the Mexican corn tortillas for the tacos. So right now in the United States is common. This is like traditional. But back then in Europe, 2007, nobody knew about tortillas. No one, absolute no one. And there were no companies back then. So I was the very first person in whole Europe who started to produce Mexican corn tortillas. So I had a company for 14 years. I was the number one company in whole Europe who started to produce corn tortillas. I was the number one Mexican corn producer in whole Europe. We produced 280 million tortillas a year. I was exporting to 49 countries and 150 cities around the world. When I sold the company 5 years ago, I had like 100 employees. We were selling everywhere in the world, and we were the biggest company for Mexican food production in the whole continent. And everything is because I went to Oregon and they changed my life. That's the true story.
Well, it's interesting because it didn't have to be that welcoming. It didn't have to be that accommodating. It didn't have to be, one thing to be like, okay, we'll give you a tour, we'll give you a facility, we'll introduce you to people, but like it wasn't just some warm hospitality brief, it turned into life-changing experience. Oh, that's pretty crazy. So that makes a lot of sense. I had no idea of you could try to connect dots, but the story, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Well, Coach, you are well-traveled, right?
Yes.
You have had a lot of different experiences in football. Like, football has obviously taken you throughout the world, whether it's been Mexico, the United States, Europe. I mean, you look at it and you have your own business, right? You do your own thing, but this opportunity comes up here with the Continental Football League, right? So can you walk us through how the opportunity with the Fort Worth Braves came about, what your decision process, was of becoming, the head coach of the resurrected Braves? Because, I mean, it's not like it's something that's been around for years. It's a relaunch, and it's a relaunch that took several decades to get here. So just kind of walk us through how the opportunity came about, and obviously, of all the different things you could be doing, what your thought process of why this made sense.
Well, I had the opportunity to talk to Justin, and he was looking for a head coach. I'm gonna be very, very honest. I hope Justin is listening, and I'm gonna tell you the truth about all this story, okay? Because I'm a very transparent person. At least I try to be always. So we were calling a couple of times, like maybe 2-3 times we were calling. He was asking a lot of things, a lot of questions, like my background, my story, my philosophy, my vision, my mission, like where I'm going, who I am, what I want to do, if I want to win, whatever, like all the stuff. Then he told me, "Hey, coach, I need to make an interview with you for the head coach position." Okay. So we had our interview. It went really well. But at the end, he told me, "Hey, Coach Doug, I think for the head coach position, you are kind of lack of experience." And I say, "Okay, this is your opinion. I totally respect." But he asked me, "Would you stay as a special teams coordinator or on defense and a strength and conditioning coach?" And I say, "Absolutely, because my commitment doesn't change. My role on the team doesn't change if I'm DC, strength, special teams, or head coach. It doesn't change my mission as a coach, Like, of course, like as a head coach, the mission change as a DC or a strength and conditioning coach or special teams. It changed totally." So I say, yes, I will stay. I'm gonna stay with the Braves, and I want to win. He made me a comment, and he told me, I think, because in the interview, he asked me about my vision, how I see football, and I say, of course, I have learned from the very best coaches in the nation. Is Coach Sarkisian, Coach Saban, Coach Sanders, Brady Hogue, Wilcox, and of course, all the coaches at Oregon, Helfrich, Bellotti. And of course, I have learned, there is a process. There is a process that you have to go through. So it's a process, like a price that you have to pay in order to become successful. You have to pay some price. It takes some time to digest that process and to become like a winner. So he told me, "Yes, coach, I want to win now." And I say, "Hey, trust me, I want to win it as well. I want to win now too. But we have to take the time, and we have to live that process, and we have to go through that process." This is what I say on the interview. So he told me he was very clear all the time. He was very transparent, very honest, and he was very, very direct to me. He said, like, Coach, I'm gonna have another interviews for head coach position, and I'm gonna call you back in a couple of days, next week. So he had like a couple of interviews, what I know, and then he called me back after 4 or 5 days, and he said, like, Coach, I love your energy, I love your passion, I love your love for the game. I think you are the right person to be the next head coach of the Braves. And the thing is that, of course, I was like absolutely happy. I was excited. And I also, like, I was like, in that moment, I was mentally prepared to be special teams or defense or a strength and conditioning coach. But then when he told me, you're going to be the next head coach of the Braves, the whole mission changed. Because right now, my job is to create a culture. My job is not anymore like the schemes or the special teams or the strength and conditioning program or whatever. Right now, my job is to create a new culture. It has to be a new culture. How are we going to do things in forward? How are we going to do things at practice? How are we going to do things on game days? So, and I was very honest to the players that at least all the players that I talk already, I say, like, I'm not going to lie. Practices are going to be like hell. They're going to be hard practices, fast practices, very tough stuff. I don't want like that you think that we're going to be just like jogging around, walking through. No. What I want is, I expect tough and hard practices all the time. All the time. It's going to be full speed all the time. So on game day, we can chill out a little bit. So in order to compete here, we have to practice here. This is the mentality and this is the philosophy. And I say to the players, you have to accept that shit. Because if you are not ready, if you think that you're going to come to the Braves and just like walk around and chill out and, okay, let's do walkthrough, this is the wrong thing, the wrong team. Because I've been as well the head coach of the Gallos Negros in Mexico. And the thing is, this is also like a professional team, a professional league in Mexico. And the thing is that the players, they were expecting all the time, like walk through all the time. They were chilling. They were just like jogging around. They had shorts. We never had practices with full pads a couple of times. And they were like, in Mexico, it's about culture. In Mexico, when you don't train full pads, in Mexico, everybody thinks like it's half speed, half gassing. You know, like you don't have to be intense because you are not in full pads. And wrong. I mean, at Texas, we had only one practice in full pads. And the 5 days were like full speed all the time. All the time. It was like 100% intensity all the time. Just we had full pads once a week. But the intensity was there. And that was the opposite in Mexico. Everybody was like expecting, like we are training on helmets. Okay. Helmets, walking, chilling, jogging around, joking around. Like, no. I don't want that because I understand that after decades of absence, right now the Braves are back and everybody's expecting something. Everybody's expecting to win, and all the people around, the families, the fans, the organization, like the media, all the people around the players and the coaches, everybody's like expecting to win. And in order to do that, we're gonna practice hard. This is the philosophy that I'm having.
Well, Coach, looking at the COFL here, all the coaches are named, and there's an array of experience and notoriety within those for the 2026 Continental, Football League. There are some notable ones, some pretty seasoned coaches, as well as there are some unknown coaches in the league. So there is no cookie cutter pathway or resume. And I think that's what makes this league for 2026 going to be very interesting. How does your experience in the American game, the Mexican game, throughout Europe, how does that help you in this position? Because the Continental Football League is going to be a unique league, right? We have American rules for 3 quarters, but there's the Continental shift, for the 4th quarter. But, there is a lot, like you mentioned, culture and what you bring and, what you're going to create. But what does your experience on, multiple different countries, 2 different continents, how does that help you and position the Braves for the upcoming season?
Well, I had the privilege that I have learned from the very best in the nation. This is like, I absolutely respect all the coaches. I have incredible respect for them. I know some of them, they have NFL careers, college careers. They have a lot of experience. But I also have something that not many coaches in the nation have. It is, I be around for some of the best coaches in the entire planet. Like to be around Coach Sarkisian for 3 years, Coach Helfrich. He was like the OC for the Chicago Bears. I don't know how he has like 12 or 13 bowl games experience. He was the head coach at Oregon when they played national championship against Ohio State. Steve Graywood. All these guys I've been around, they were the best of the best in the nation. And I have learned a lot of lessons from them. And also have like my own experience as a coach, position coach, DC, and head coach. And right now is the time for me to show up and step up, show up all the lessons that I have learned from them. So it's going to be a big challenge for me, of course. But it was like challenge accepted, Like I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. And I have absolutely nothing to lose. I have everything to win. But one thing that is very clear for me is we're gonna work, like every single day, and I'm gonna sweat green, and I'm gonna work like my ass off for this team.
I think that's pretty apparent because the team hasn't been around that long publicly, right? Officially. And you guys are moving right along, which is kind of will lead me right into my next question. Although the Braves coaching staff is not completed yet, at least publicly, right? The foundation seems to be set. You have offensive coordinator Juan Young, you have defensive coordinator Daryl Patterson announced. What can Brave and COFL fans expect to see from this Fort Worth team that is led by you 3 gentlemen? I know you mentioned hard work, right? And you got to work, this hard so that on game day you can kind of have, focus on the game at hand and not be so, mentally strong. But what can we expect maybe as far as style of play, intensity, pace, that type of thing, come this season?
I talked to Juan and me, we play against when we were in college. Okay. So I talked to Juan. I sent him like a couple of plays, like we're gonna be fast. This is like a fast tempo offense. It's gonna be no huddle, like all the drill, and we're gonna be fast and intense and aggressive. On defense, we're gonna be like absolutely aggressive. It's gonna be physical. I mean, I talked to them. I talked to the coordinators, to Juan, to Coach Patterson, and on offense, we're gonna be creative. We're gonna be innovative. We're gonna be like fast tempo offense. And I'm not joking around. Like we're gonna prepare like a nice offense for a good show, because at the end the fans, they want to see big plays, big games, a lot of points, and this is what we are planning for.
We mentioned that you're going to sweat green, bleed green, whatever it is, because you're working so hard. It hasn't even been a month. Despite the team just being announced, less than 30 days ago. The Braves haven't wasted time, as I mentioned, since that announcement on March 10th, per my count. So I could be wrong, and you probably obviously have more players that are about ready to be announced. But I believe I counted 13 players signed, 2 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers. You have a running back / receiver, a tight end, linebacker, 4 DBs, and you got a kicker / punter. So, I mean, it's you guys are signing players across, the roster. So seeing that the organization, has been only around for a short while, you got, a head coach, coordinators, 13 players or so. You guys appear to be making pretty solid progress, because there's been some teams announced since back in the fall. And I'm not saying that organizations haven't been doing some work behind the scene before things, public get announced. But, I understand you guys have a tryout this weekend, right? That's a tryout you guys got coming on the 11th.
We moved back to 26th of April.
Okay.
Yep.
So all right. So you're moving that back.
Yes.
For players that are still looking for opportunity, right? There's no shortage of players that are looking for opportunity, and there's obviously plenty of roster spots open, and you're still looking for players. Where can prospective players sign up to participate in that trial or any other ones that are coming down the line?
First of all, we are looking for commitment. This is the first sign for me. I talked to Justin. I don't want players who take us as like the second best. I don't want like, this is my second option or my third option. Or maybe if I don't get like a spot in another league or in another program, I'm gonna go to the Braves. No, I'm sorry, excuse my language. No fucking way. We want players who wants to play for us. First of all, because there are a lot of players who wants to play for us. A lot of players. I mean, in the last 3 weeks, my Instagram is full of messages from all kind of players. Hey, coach, I want to play. Hey, coach, I've been here. I've been around. I want to play. I want to be part of. So we want that kind of players. First of all, we want committed players, consistent players. We don't want players who is like, if I don't get signed in Mexico, I'm gonna come here and play. No, we had one case of that, and after what happened, I talked to him and I said, like, we don't want that shit. If you want to come and play for us, you have to be committed, like 100%. It's not like just a little bit. It's not like if you don't sign with another team. It's you sign with us or not. Simple as that. Are you all in or you are out? Simple as that. We want committed guys, very disciplined guys, and I'm looking for speed. We want fast guys. Simple as that. Very fast guys.
You obviously have ties to Texas, right? Everyone knows that you're on the Longhorn staff at one point and whatnot. And football is ingrained in their culture in Texas, right? Some people say it's a religion. So
Yep.
I think the state has its own division here in the Continental Football League with teams in Austin, Midland, San Antonio, and obviously your Braves in Fort Worth. Do you believe the Lone Star State will support the Continental Football League?
At some point, yes. Everybody loves football in Texas. You said already, it's a religion. It's the most important thing. I mean, even for me as a coach, when I went from Cal Berkeley, San Diego State, and I went to Texas, it was just like another world. I mean, at Oregon was like important. Yes, it was very important. At California was like, okay, school, university, like, football. Okay, nice. San Diego State, football was like important. Okay. But at Texas, football was everything. Everybody was like about everything was around football. It was not like you have your life, football is aside. No, it's like you build your life around football. And the thing is that even the people around Texas, they build their lives around football, around the Texas Longhorns, about all these professional leagues. They are waiting for that. So at some point, yes, we're going to have a lot of support.
I mean, it seems inevitable, but anything takes time, right? People have to know about you.
Absolutely.
It takes time,
Absolutely.
that type of thing. It's not just word of mouth, but to know that you truly exist, see that it's real, right, and kind of experience it. And I see that, but the football, man, it's everywhere in Texas, one way, shape, or form, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, could you take the opportunity? I like to give everybody an opportunity to kind of take their last soapbox moment to maybe discuss something we haven't touched base on that you believe is very important for the fans in the DFW community to know about yourself, maybe the Braves, the Continental Football League, the leadership, everything that you're building for 2026 and beyond.
Say it again, Coach. Say it again, Mike. I didn't hear you.
That's okay. I'm going to give you a moment, like a soapbox moment, where you get up there and touch base on something that we haven't discussed that you think is very important. Tied to the whole thing.
Yes,
is there anything?
Yes, I would like to thank all the fans, all the people around, all the families, all the support, and I want to invite them to come to the games and support us, to come to the practices and support us. They have to believe in what we are doing. It takes time to win. It takes time to build an organization. It takes time to build a franchise. It takes time to build like a whole culture. Because I repeat again, this is about culture. Like the Braves is about culture. It's not only about football. Football is just like one part of the Braves, but we want to build a new culture about families, football, environment, healthy stuff, discipline, commitment, like fundamental stuff, like to create, to have a nice impact in the community, Like we want to create a nice relationship with the community. We want to support the community. I'm going to make the players and coaches to support the community, and we want that the community support us back. So I want to invite all the people around Fort Worth, Dallas to come to the games, to support us on social media, to support us on Facebook, on Instagram, like whatever it takes. We're going to be there fighting for the city and the community.
Well, Coach, I appreciate taking the time to appear on the show to discuss your role as head coach of the Fort Worth Braves, the Continental Football League with me. You have approximately, 2 months to finalize your staff?
2 months we start, yes. We are getting ready.
Yeah, for May's kickoff, right? So I wish you, the Braves, the league, the best of luck. Health is a big part of that too, right? You got to have health, to be able to take the field in every way, shape, or form. But perhaps down the road, if your schedule allows it and you're interested, I would love to have you come back on the show to discuss the Braves season and maybe the COFL.
All the time. You have to make me part of the podcast, Mike. Come on.
Oh, no. Hey, it takes a community, right? It takes not just the community, but it takes, the media, it takes everything. I understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big part of it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks for the invitation. And thanks for the support. We need you. We need you guys to make this league, this team, this organization big. It's not about the Braves. It's about the league. It's about all the 8 teams. It's about the coaches, the family around. It's about all the players. Like something that the people they need to understand. They need to know that my job is I work for them. I work for the players. All my effort and my passion and my love for the game is for the players. I work for them. It's not that they play for me. It's not that way. I work for them, and we coach for them. So we're gonna do everything is needed to make them to compete in a higher level. They want to be seen, they want to play, they want to make film. So we're gonna make that. So everything we do is for them. This is something that at the end I just wanted to share, to make it clear, and the message is very clear from me. I love the players, I respect the players, and my job is for them.
Well, hey, there's always something beyond oneself, right? A greater cause. So, that's the beautiful thing about sports.
Yep.
Before I let you go, Coach, could you just take a moment to inform the listeners where they can perhaps follow the Braves, yourself, to keep up to date on some of the team developments as it prepares for the season?
Absolutely, yeah. It would be nice if they follow the Instagram page and Facebook, like Forward Braves, and myself, Coach Doc 4, on Instagram. Follow me if you have like any kind of comment, any suggestion. Like, welcome, because one thing is very, very, very important. I don't have all the answers. Even like I'm the head coach, but I still have a lot to learn, and I don't have all the answers. So if you have any kind of suggestion, like any kind of comment, welcome. Coach Doc 4, or the Instagram of the Forward Braves.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
The Fort Worth Braves are making significant progress and do not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. It was a pleasure to connect with Coach Duck, and I look forward to seeing the team his staff put together for the inaugural 2026 Continental Football League season. That concludes another show. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to having everyone back for an all-new episode of Player 54 Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into today's show. You can support the show and our partners by using code PLAYER54 at checkout at any of the following websites: RoyalRetros.com, where you can save 15%, TrueVictory.com, where you can save 15%, BuckDuck.com, where you can save 20%, ImpactMouthguards.com, where you can save 10%, HobbyArmor.com, where you can save 5%, JustMeatJerky.com, where you can save 10%. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe and rate Player 54 Podcast on your platforms of choice. Do you have a question or topic you would like to have discussed on the show? Message us via social media or send an email to player54podcast@gmail.com.